stop you.
Hey, I'm not speaking to you, so you can shut your mouth. I'll talk to you when Daddy's ready to talk to you. Excuse me. Shh.
Your best thing for you to do is to be quiet.
No,
or walk in the back.
We were not speaking with you,
Tom?
because there are things on the plaques here.
Tom.
So this is how you allow your staff.
Stop trying to chill my free speech, Tom. I'm talking to the boss.
I see.
Pipe down.
Okay.
What's going on, guys? We're at the Manchester by the Sea Public Library. You might have seen the movie, you might not have, but I'm sure almost all of you have seen the behavior of the town manager.
Coming. What for?
Well, I mean, if I wanted to answer that question, I would have come in here and said, what's your name? This is the reason I'm filming, but I don't really feel like answering that question.
Well, I have a right to know what you're doing in town hall.
No, you don't.
I do.
No,
It's
you
a
don't.
public building, and I'm responsible.
Yeah, there you go. It's a public building.
Correct.
I'm a member of the public,
Yes.
and I'm inside a public building that represents a public capacity
Why don't
within
you
the
come
city.
downstairs?
No, I'm all set.
Seriously, I would like you to come downstairs.
That's your problem, not mine.
What's your name?
I'm the town manager.
Oh, that's not going to be a good look. That's going to be a terrible look. You do understand that we have the absolute lawful right to exercise our First Amendment privileges in a public building, right?
You may do that. but
Which
I-
we are until you interrupted me.
No.
Yes, you interrupted me. I was working and you interrupted me.
No. You were
No,
interrupting some staff.
No. See, the staff is here to serve the people. You are here to serve me, but instead, you're bothering me.
You trying to make us serve you?
So I'd ask you to stop bothering me, please. Bye.
Not at all.
Calm down. Relax. Wait a second.
relax.
We're going to take turns here. You know, you might manage the town. You don't manage me, so relax.
I have work to
Okay?
do, so if you have a
So
question... I'm
you
happy
won't let
to
me
answer.
finish because your mouth is running more than the marathon. Relax for a second, big guy. It's going to be all right. We'll figure this out together. It's all right. I'm here to help. Greg next door. Let's hope that they're a little better behaved here. Hello, howdy.
That was the first movie I saw in a theater after COVID. I went to the theater.
Oh, yeah, I didn't,
Yeah,
I didn't see it in the theater, I saw it online.
well, on the big, I just want to see the big screen. But it's-
That would be a movie that you'd wanna see on the big screen.
This ship was the primary recovery ship for the Gemini program. Back in the 60s, remember the Wally Schirra and Cooper and all those people.
Wow, well, thank you for your service.
Thank you again.
Oh, you're welcome, bye-bye now. We're debating whether to chop this up for scrap paper. What, do you have any projects you could use it for? There's that much more still out there.
Pay for our sign program.
I know, that's what I was thinking. You could use them for placemats. Maybe that's what you should do when you have pizza. You could use them for placemats. Or paper plates, a good idea.
Anybody? Any takers?
None.
None want to help us?
Absolutely none.
Ask us if we need anything?
Four.
We're good?
Do you normally?
Like if someone stands here for several minutes, do you normally like greet them and say, hi, is there anything I can do for you today? Okay, perfect. So just maybe this was missed opportunity. Just didn't notice we were here, so.
I don't know. You pointed it out, and then she goes for like, why would she? Why would she ask if we needed help?
I just thought you were filming,
Ah,
What's your name, young lady?
so I don't know, I mean, it's just a shame.
What's your name, miss?
they still haven't asked if we need help. We're trying to get help.
Well, what help do you need?
Who's the library director here? Is that the lady that just
Cynthia?
left? Is that the lady that just left?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, is the library director here? Is Cynthia here? That's her right there? Sounds good. Hi, Cynthia. How are you today? I do this quite a bit, so I'm better at reading people than you might think. Could I please have the name of this young lady that sits at this chair?
Why?
Because I'm asking.
Yeah.
So what's her name?
Her name is Ms. Dumont.
Dumont. Okay. Do you normally ask that your staff greets folks when they come in? Ask if they need
I normally
assistance?
do greet folks, yeah.
So what would what do you think, like, if you're sitting behind the desk and someone walks up and they're waiting for service, what do you think would be like a decent time frame for them to greet the person and ask if they need service?
As soon as they can, when they see the person, if they can't help right away, usually it's to say, can you please?
Wait a minute, or we'll just be right with you.
I'll be right with you.
Of course.
As soon as I can.
So a little bit perturbed because I checked my watch and I was there for just over 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 seconds, standing, waiting. She didn't want to help me. So I said, is anyone want to give us a hand? And then I asked for her name and she got up and she ran away and hid in the back. So obviously I'm thinking that we were refused service because we're standing here holding the camera. We certainly didn't treat her as shitty as she treated us. So that's why I wanted to know what her name was.
Is it the problem that it's like from leadership falling down? Because we were also standing right here when you walked past us. You noticed they weren't helping us, but you also didn't offer to help either. And you're like literally the person that runs the show around here. So is it like a leadership and everybody's
No, I
following
think
the
that it's a
example
little-
of leadership?
so it
I
can
was
be
still
uncomfortable for
talking.
people
I was
to-
still talking.
Oh, excuse me.
Is it the example that they're just following leadership's example? Or what's the issue?
I don't think it is an issue, but I think it might have been a
You
question
don't-
of being felt like it was uncomfortable. that
So
they
it's,
were
let me ask you a quick question. When it says died from Samuel Hart, for example, this is very historical, died while a disease while in the service. A lot of these say they died while they were in the service. What service are they referring to?
They were in this is a Memorial Hall, Veterans.
A Veterans Memorial Hall. So,
Yeah.
so I would really, to be as polite as possible, I would really give a crap less about how uncomfortable she is in front of a camera when she's standing in front of a memorial for those folks who paid the ultimate sacrifice so we could practice our First Amendment right. Her feelings don't faze me once. Like, not even a factor in my day. She should be uncomfortable. Do you think he was uncomfortable while he was dying from dysentery while in the service fighting for our nation?
So is there something else I can help you with related to the library?
Yeah, what are we going to do to curb her attitude and fix her behavior?
I believe that my staff is generally extremely helpful to the patrons of this library.
Of course you believe that, because you said that there was no issue when I asked if there was one. The issue is that your staff is following leadership.
What's Miss Dumont? What's your first name?
Lori.
Lori. All right, so I'm going to do a records request on Lori and on yourself. We're going to get names, dates of employment, salary, all that stuff, and we're going to see if maybe next time we show a little bit more respect.
People come in here and film this historical building all the time.
Oh, so what was the problem with our camera?
I am going to lunch. It's time for my lunch.
So you ignored me for 3 minutes. Then when I asked your name, very politely, you ran and hid in the back. But that's because you were going to lunch.
No, I went to use the restroom.
Okay, so excuse me. I apologize. You've been standing there for 3 minutes and I've ignored you. But now I'm going to go use the restroom.
And film the
On-
contents of this building.
I'm surprised that happens on your watch. So we're going to do some records requests then.
Okay.
This will do.
Yeah, a bunch of requests, but nothing.
Do you happen to have a pen or a
So if it
pencil on
says
you?
there's two here,
By any chance?
that doesn't mean I'm gonna
Thank
get
you very much.
the
Appreciate it.
McFadden, Freeman McFadden?
Yeah, the title.
Yeah, I ordered, I just put in a whole one, so I don't.
Okay, give me a minute and
Yeah.
I'll.
And there was one that I think that I noticed, but I can't find it in the library, that is from the teacher by Freeman McFadden.
Okay,
I'll go look at the stacks again and see if I
Okay.
can.
hi, sorry about that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Thank you for the pencil. That's a records request for the names, dates of employment, positions, and salary for all library staff. Okay.
Can I just get your name? Yeah.
So, I'm not sure you're submitting this to me.
Okay.
This isn't the way that we would submit requests to, I believe you need to make a record
Okay,
request.
I'm sorry, what's your last name?
Is that you?
No, so each subsidiary is responsible for their own requests. So, I mean, maybe you have town hall process those records for you, but this is the facility for whom the records I'm requesting. So I'm fine passing it in just like that. At service, you have 10 business days.
Someone's personal phone's ringing.
I'm sorry, so,
Did you need to get that? Someone's personal phone.
I don't know if it was an emergency.
no,
Oh, okay.
no, thank you.
Do you typically allow ringers to be
It's
on?
under bringing
Sorry,
up,
I can hear
Do
you.
you let your staff just have their ringers be on while they're working? That's not very professional.
I just may
Are
need
they allowed to have
to
their
give
ringers
you a
on?
call
Usually
back
they do
while
not.
Okay,
Sometimes
because
they
we're
do.
having a problem even hearing you because the ringer's on and it just keeps going. It's just rude, so maybe
Seems
just
like-
suggest that your staff
Yeah.
have their phones on silent.
Sometimes people forget to turn it off.
It seems like a lot of things that don't normally happen or that you wouldn't expect to happen ever when dealing with the public have only happened while we've been here. And I find it hard for, these folks like her. She's probably thinking we're the meanest people ever to walk the earth, and she's going to find a way to make this our fault. We don't make people act outside of themselves. That might be someone you want to really look at.
Okay, so what you're saying is you'd like
Several
a
other
records
libraries have
request.
it.
And you.
No, that is my records request. So what I need from today, you have 10 business days to provide me this information under open records requests and FOIA law.
And this is, what is your name?
Good citizen.
Yeah.
Your name is Good Citizen?
Yes, that's right.
Your legal name is Good Citizen?
Doesn't matter what my legal name is.
You need to learn how to do your job, lady.
I
That is not it.
I don't need to give you my legal name. I don't have to ID to fill out a records request.
Okay. Anyway, so you're saying you want this record provided to this email address?
Correct. Thank you. You have 10 business days. Thanks.
What happens when I don't fulfill that request? in time?
When?
Oh, so
Not an if, it's a when.
this is the best part. So I'm covered too.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop you.
Hey, I'm not speaking to you, so you can shut your mouth. I'll talk to you when Daddy's ready to talk to you. Excuse me. Shh.
Your best thing for you to do is to be quiet.
No,
Or walk in the back.
We were not speaking with you.
Tom?
Because there are things on the plaques here.
Tom.
So this is how you allow your staff.
Stop trying to chill my free speech, Tom. I'm talking to the
I
boss.
see.
Pipe
I see.
down.
Okay.
This is how you allow
So
your staff to.
the open records requests law is Massachusetts, right? That's what Massachusetts calls theirs law. Then the federal law is the Freedom of Information Act.
Yes.
Okay? So under either, the longer term being Massachusetts, I have 9 days. So I don't even need to fill out a records request on a specific form, right? Like I can fill it out on anything. I can give it to you verbally. I write it down because I'm not going to be able to remember your email if you tell it to be. I'm a human being. So upon receipt, I can give it to any government agent. It's now been accepted. So you don't have to give it to me in 10 days. It's just once you do, you'll be in violation of the federal FOIA law. You'll be in violation of the Massachusetts open records request law. I'll contact the Attorney General. They'll put sanctions on you. I'll also sue you civilly, and I'll recoup that. I've done this before. So the best thing to do is get me those records in 10 business days.
And if you don't know how to do it, you can always ask for help. Town hall's right there.
I will definitely be asking.
What are we going to do about this piece of shit right here?
I don't appreciate you.
Using my free speech. I know you don't appreciate use of free speech, especially with those who gave their lives for it. Free speech. First, well, see, he interrupted me. He wanted to be aggressive. Now he's sitting there like a puppy, so I wanted to know what we're going to do to deal with
You
him.
want everybody to be polite, but you don't want to be polite.
I don't
work
work
for
for the
us.
public. You get paid by the public. He gets paid by the public, and not for nothing. When I came in here, I wasn't mean to anybody. I wasn't rude to anybody. I make it a point to not be rude to anyone until they're rude to me. So that way, when I am speaking this way, it's only because I'm defending myself against a public official's poor behavior.
You should probably turn your ringer off, man.
So what did you have to say to me when you were all big and tough with your chest puffed out?
You seem not to want to hear it, so
Oh no, go ahead. I was speaking. You were being rude, so I didn't have time to hear
Now
it
he's
then.
giving you the time.
So now I'm done. You may speak. What's up? What'd you want to say to me?
Missed opportunity.
Right, another job, another career was a missed opportunity. You're right. Unacceptable for him to speak to his staff that way, to speak in front of staff that way, to speak to members of the public that way. I don't care what the reasoning is. We came in, we were real nice. Let's just leave it at this. This conversation would have never happened if we came here and someone said, hey, can I help you? We'd have been in and out, just like we were at the town hall. We went in, every single office said, hey, can I help you? Oh, thanks, have a great Christmas. Oh, good luck putting up the tree. I see it. Have fun with the lights. Not a problem over there. Not an issue.
It just seems
But
to
I
be
came in.
the library that molds the minds of the future that seems to have a problem.
It's my fault that I was ignored for 3 minutes and got upset by it. If you went to a restaurant and no one came up to greet you, would you be upset by that? Would you be perturbed by that? Would you feel unwelcomed by that, sir? Fair question, right? You would. You'd feel unwelcome by that. The difference is you can choose not to go back to a restaurant. They're not public employees. You are.
And we do, and you're right, we always want to help people when they come in. I mean, that is true.
I mean, I'm not
You
gonna.
mostly always do.
No, we do. I mean, I can't, people are human, they make mistakes, sometimes something gets missed.
Listen, I get that.
But I will say, yes, it is our job to ask people if they need help or want help, that's what we're here for.
So let's get.
Do you have an answer?
I'm not saying that that's not true, that is true.
Do you have an answer then for the way that you treated us before we actually expressed what the issue was?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Because your staff was sitting right here, nobody was over here, you squeezed past us. You knew we were standing there. And then you didn't ask if we needed help, or you didn't direct it to the staff.
I didn't realize you were waiting for help.
What about
We were standing in line.
Well, you were standing there with cameras.
And then that
but-
stops us being,
No, I
getting
didn't
help.
know whether you were,
What about-
being helped
You
or-
didn't ask.
What about this guy right
Yes,
here?
that's true, I didn't ask.
What about this guy right here giving us a. So, second grade, I learned this. I think she learned it before me. She's politer than me. She learned it in maybe kindergarten.
think that.
Kindergarten. If someone does something mean to you, if someone's disrespectful, if someone's rude, the teacher teaches you to do what if you treat somebody like that? To apologize. I did something wrong. I was not nice. I was a jerk. I now need to apologize. I understand that we're way past second grade, so maybe morals don't count, but here's the options. Here's what I'm doing, right? I'm going to submit a formal complaint on this guy, or he can apologize. And if I submit a formal complaint, hundreds of thousands of people are going to see the video. I'm going to put all the pressure that I have to wait on this town legally. I'm going to go to every single select board meeting, and I'm going to push. Libraries don't need any heat. They're already one of the most underfunded government entities that exist. The library is the first place to have a corner cut.
But
And I don't want
right to do so.
I don't want to see that happen, but I'm also not going to be treated like trash. So he wants to apologize. I can accept that he's the human you were speaking of. If he doesn't want to, then I'll let the people
We're all
speak their
human.
grievances.
We all make mistakes. I got feisty because I was treated badly. Maybe I should have been a little more.
No, I don't
cool,
think
and
I don't think you
collected.
should have. You repaid their kindness with kindness, and there was no kindness.
But there's always room for improvement, no matter who you are.
I don't know, because that's the problem. Like if you just let someone like that apologize, then like what do they think? They got away with it? So it's like I'm iffy, but it's the holiday season, so I'm willing to take an apology from them.
It would be nice.
And just when we leave, folks can say whatever they want about us, how rude we are. All they had to do is say, "Hi, can I help you?" And I think that's like one of the sole purposes of someone being behind this desk, is just ask people if they need help. So it's not on me that I was
Whether they're
ignored.
wearing their cross or holding a camera.
And I didn't like come in and say, "Oh, okay, ignore me, yell at me, don't serve me." Like I understand what it is. She saw the camera and she was like, "Oh, it's one of these people." So she ignored me. She went back to do her thing, but she didn't give us a chance. She wants us to give her a chance, but she wasn't willing to afford us that same respect and measure. And she's the one righteous, standing in front of a sign telling we can't do what we're doing, when the people behind her died for these very rights. And when you put it like that, it sounds a little bit ridiculous, doesn't it?
I do want to point out, I don't know what your policies are for your staff either. I'd need to read up on that. But number one, pretty sure it was him that had his phone unprofessional,
The regular
really
hours.
rude. Even when it started ringing,
Between
you'd think you'd click it so it wouldn't continue to ring, right? But number two, the
So-
lady that
so
ignored
closing
us
business.
said she went to the bathroom, but then came back and then clocked out for her shift. Typically, that's what you do when you're on lunch. You do all of the things that you need to do when you're not on the clock, right? Go to the bathroom, blah, 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 unless it's an emergency. So it seems like maybe like the staff don't exactly know how to behave. So
We'll just
there
wait.
needs to be some training.
I'll just wait until he's done helping, so that way he can make a
I
decision.
mean, I don't know what her emergency situation was like, but she used the public's dime to go do all the things she needed to do and then
Right.
go to lunch.
Right.
One or two, I'm not sure.
And then otherwise, it's just the
Thank you.
usual.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Great
No.
day.
Oh, that? Okay. And it should be a sport.
Oh.
You got something?
Go to the bathroom when you're on your break.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's when you can.
Would you like to apologize, sir? Sir? I didn't
Oh,
realize he was helping her over there.
We waited being ignored for a long time, so we'll just continue to wait. And be
Yeah, I mean,
ignored.
we were first, but it's fine. Would you like to apologize, sir, for your behavior?
You don't really seem interested in what I have to say, so I don't
I'm
have
standing
anything
here
else to say.
asking, sir, would you like to apologize? I was very polite in asking that. But if you'd like to stay on that ego,
You walked in, people did say hello to you, you came to the desk, you've got cameras. Other people come in with cameras, typically they're.
that wasn't my
they're
question,
recording,
sir.
you know,
I
they're
don't,
taking pictures.
that wasn't my question.
I'm-
Are you willing to apologize for your behavior? That was
See,
my question. I don't need like the
Again, I
play-by-play.
think you're just not interested in.
I am
hearing me out.
interested.
No, so I think that the chance for dialogue is past. Right now, we've been very gracious, right? We've offered you an opportunity for an apology, because normally what I do is I file a complaint, then I show up at every select board meeting, and I just put so much pressure on the town, as does my audience, to make sure that person doesn't work in the public sector, right? And I'm willing to forgo that because she said you're human. I'm trying to see if that's true, because in the second grade I learned you apologize when you act like you did. Maybe you didn't learn the same lesson, so I'm well past dialogue. I'm asking, do you want to apologize and own your behavior, or what are we doing?
You don't seem interested in hearing me, so.
Okay, so the library financially will suffer, because I'm gonna push for lack of funding, and you already know that libraries are the first one in the funding chopping block, aren't they? When you need to cut money, who's it get cut from? Library.
Which is unfortunate. 'cause
And the
that should-
American Library Association used to help with grants, but unfortunately they can't do that anymore because the availability of books over the past medical crisis. So,
So I was just asking if you were ready to apologize. I didn't need a play-by-play that led us up to the point where you decided to be incredibly rude. Whether you choose to apologize, that's on you, but I didn't need you to spin the story.
I have other things I've got to do. I mean,
So you don't wanna
spent a lot of
apologize.
time on this already.
well, you
You
know what?
spent a lot of
You-
time on this already.
You do that, right? And do whatever you got to do for this shift, because I can promise you, the moment that door closes behind me, and I haven't heard the words "I'm sorry" from you, this will be one of your last shifts. That being said, I'm still gonna come to every single select board meeting. That's acceptable to you? That type of behavior with no apology, that's acceptable. You will?
said that everyone's
Are you willing to? Are you willing to
I'm sorry.
ride
that
this
you
out
feel
for him?
like that You haven't been treated well.
Do you think it's
I didn't
acceptable
feel
for him to
anymore.
behave that way and then not apologize? That's what I'm asking you. You can try and politic it however you want. I'm going to play back his actions without editing
Yes
it.
or
I
no?
understand that. I understand.
Is that acceptable behavior from one of your employees that's public facing to a member of the public? Was that behavior?
It's a simple.
It's not, I know that you don't want to throw him under the bus, but we both know, and everyone watching that video is going to know, that's not acceptable. Putting his hands in front of our face, that was unacceptable behavior. But I'm asking you, do you recognize that behavior as unacceptable?
I recognize that behavior is unacceptable.
Thank you. That's all.
At
And I-
least there's one person in here that can set aside the pride, set aside the ego, and like know that it was wrong. Like, I know that you didn't like it when you called him a piece of shit. That is his right to do so. He's redressing his grievances. And the guy treated us.
Well, you might want to notice the historical features of our building. I thought you were filming the historical tablets. We have a Tiffany window.
We're gonna take. Here's what I like to do. You have
A scroll by McKinsey.
you have my email address.
The building
It's the
has a lot
holidays.
to offer.
I don't want to take anybody's job. But if I feel there's no salvation for that person on public dime, then I take their job. I take an apology or I take a job. I'm gonna let this go until the close of business today. Not on camera. You got my email. He can type up an apology so it's not on camera, or he can think about his actions. He can email it to me. That's more grace I'm giving him than I think he deserves. But it's the holidays, and I'm willing to take that. So that's my email address. That'll go right to me. If you'd like to send me something off camera, then I'll accept that.
Or if you'd like to just say it right now while we're here. Make it a lot easier, and then he wouldn't have to
Because
spend...
he's thinking of his pride right now, but he's going to have to go home and tell his wife or his guy that now he doesn't have a job in the holidays because he thought my threats are idle when it comes to removing people from positions when they behave poorly. So if he'd like to do that, that's my email address. He's more than welcome to. I can't record an apology that's on an email. I'm doing that to give him more credit than he gave us.
I'm even still here saying maybe we got off on the wrong foot and maybe he'd like to apologize. And it's
No, he just wants to be heard. That's all. He just wants to be heard. He doesn't care about hearing. That's the problem. Like he's made a decision, and he's now justified his behavior based on his actions. Like, it was okay, I did this because. But we have a supervisor saying well, we just know that's disrespectful. So my subscribers are going to give me a hell of a time for even letting him do that. But it's the holidays. If he wants to apologize, I'll give him to the end of business. End of your business hours today, okay? Okay. I do thank you.
Unless you'd like to do it while we're right here, man. All right.
It's a shame. Library is going to lose like funding. They're going to have to cut staff.
When we were here waiting to get help, we were looking at a beautiful.
I called earlier and spoke with somebody about
Very real. And these like folks, they don't believe us when they say it. Then they go to my website and they see, holy smokes. He's gotten 4 cops fired, 2 town managers, a sitting mayor, a state representative, 2 librarians. Like, oh my God, he really does follow through. And then they lose the funding, and it's like, I'm the bad person. I go out of my way to give people the chance to just say they're sorry. So no one can ever say that I try and put them in a negative light they don't deserve. All right.
Well, this woman is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. Yeah, she said hi when we came in.
Did you take a look at the joke of the week?
Yeah, why did the gingerbread boy skip school? He was feeling it from me.
Feel free to share that one around.
You know
We were
you're
gonna tell our kid when we got home.
you know you're old when you hear a joke. Like my kid, she told me the other day. She told me like the dumbest joke, so stupid. And I wanted to be like, you need some self-awareness. That was a dumb joke. But she's a child, so I'm like, oh. But it was not stupid. It was so funny. Like it made me like hysterically start laughing. It was.
Sometimes those are the best jokes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they tell the joke and the joke's not funny, but the laughter afterwards is.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, that was great. The delivery.
What time should you go to the dentist?
Tooth hurting.
Oh no! Yeah. See.
Probably had that.
No, but I just knew about it. It's a good one.
You were gonna use it for next week.
Merry Christmas.
How do you say that?
Happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. So like, I don't know if you guys saw, but like, Nana and I have been doing this so long together. Like, we kind of like know what each other is doing, where they're at. So, yeah, she's going at the lady, and then I'm over by the guy. And then I come back, and like, Nana, like, oh man, she just savagely destroys these freakouts.
I don't like the bullshit.
I don't like the. Well, anyways, Subscribe to Accountability Amplified. She's been in Accountability Amplified. I've been AFA, and that's the reason I stopped you today.